folks, welcome back finally to another installment of Star Wars Summer. The summer of Star Wars, that's right. Listen, we did a Kill Bill detour, we did a Sinbad detour. We're back on track. We're here to do Star Wars Summer once again. Swine, you're back. Hello.
A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far away, Naboo was under an attack. And I thought me and Qui-Gon Jinn...
Swine. No, we don't have time for that.
Okay. Right, we can let's get this summer Star Wars moving along.
Yeah.
I missed out. I tragically could not be here for the Ewok movies. You know, I really brokenhearted. I had to not witness those.
Yeah, you were
fine films.
You were away at war in Czechoslovakia again.
Of course.
So
it's a never-ending war. Reminds me of something else.
It reminds me of the never-ending story. Wait a minute, that's not Star Wars. No, listen.
That one ended though.
Oh, it did. That's right. After the third one,
you should have seen my lawsuit against him.
Oh. Mr. Simpson, this is the
hero.
This is the most blatant false advertising since my case against the never-ending story.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay. Well, listen, Swine. We talked about the original trilogy. It was a huge success. Those movies were a lot of fun to talk about. But there's another Star Wars trilogy. There is another Star Wars. There's another. Old Georgie boy was like, hey, those were episodes 4, 5, and 6. I got to make episodes 1, 2, and 3. And he did.
Whoops.
And yeah, whoopsie.
I hate it when that happens. I make a movie. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to make the first 3. Clumsy me.
Yeah.
They're gonna banish me for that one.
They're not gonna bring me back for 7, 8, and 9. But not yet, Minion. Not yet. Listen, the prequels are an interesting trilogy of movies, I must say. You know, that sounds like a vague description of them, like, oh, they're an interesting trilogy of movies. They really are. I don't think I've seen public perception on movies change so vastly over the course of many, many years as I have the prequels. Because, you know, as kids, what would you say your thoughts on the prequels as a whole were when you were a kid, when you were younger?
My perception as a child, they were the bee's knees, even more so, I guess, than the Bee movie was about bees.
I would agree.
I know. No, I had the VHS for Phantom Menace and Clone Wars. I wasn't allowed to watch Revenge of the Sith until I was a little older. But
that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, and as far as like when I say I watched them over and over again, most of that was me watching specific sections of the movie and then rewinding, specifically like the last, you know, like the climax of Phantom Menace with Duel of the Fates, and then Attack of the Clones, basically once all the, you know, the Jedi show, like basically Geonosis, the arena and the Jedi show up. I watched that section over and over again. That was one of the best days of my young life when I found Attack of the Clones VHS at Half Price Books.
Oh, that is sick. You actually remember that kind of stuff.
I already had Phantom Menace on VHS.
Right, yeah.
I found the next one.
No, I completely agree. I thought these movies were cool when I was a kid. I definitely didn't like them more than the originals. I had such a special place in my heart for the originals, and then I'd watch the prequels, and I liked the prequels. I was just thinking, yeah, these are also good. They just weren't better than the originals. I just kind of accepted them as part of the saga, part of the story. Like, okay, these are the adventures that happened before Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. It's Qui-Gon Jinn and young Obi-Wan Kenobi and young Darth Vader.
Okay.
Yeah, and then years later, then we grow up, we get to be on the internet, and we realize, wait a minute, these movies are terrible, actually. And you go, oh, okay, I guess they're terrible now. You know, you just kind of accept it. I never did a full 180 where I'm like, yeah, these suck, actually. I hate them. I was like, okay, I understand why people don't like them, but I still am nostalgic for them. And then fast forward to nowadays, and people love them again. And yeah, it's just a very turbulent history these movies have gone through.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, for me when it was definitely like as a kid, oh, lightsabers, and
Yeah.
I love lightsabers. I love clone troopers. I love Darth Maul, and I love Mace Windu's purple lightsaber. It was literally like all the checklist of like, okay, what is a Star Wars not gonna like? That was me. And like as soon like once I'd like get exposed, like the Plinkett reviews, which I'm sure we can go into more, like, and they like point out, I was like, oh yeah, like first of all, Phantom Menace does not have, doesn't have the purple lightsaber, doesn't have the clones. Like that was the first one I kind of turned against. Is like, actually, yeah, I don't really, I don't like Gungans, and I don't really care for, Queen Amidala's crazy outfits. And yeah, this movie does suck.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, Attack the Clones. Wow, all this I did always skip over all of like the love dialogue, and oh wow, it really does suck. And yeah, it was a um, yeah, wow. I don't like sand. What a terrible line, kind of thing. It was like, yeah, and I did fully like I kind of one at a time. Yeah, I turned on the first. I never turned on Revenge of the Sith,
Right.
which I can get more into detail on my thoughts there. But yeah, I did also experience that, and like yeah, I was more into the prequels than the sequel or the original trilogy, I should say.
Mm.
Um, as a kid, but yeah, it was specifically, for the not really the content of the story, but more like, the eye candy type of stuff
Eye
and the
candy for sure.
cool
Yeah.
like world building and the sets and what can they make it look? What Lego set do I want?
Oh.
I was so desperate. The Republic gunship Lego set was the apple of my eye for basically my entire childhood. I never got one.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
I love Republic gunships. They're so cool.
Lego Star
They're
Wars.
very cool.
Yeah, they're so cool. Yeah. No, yeah. So I would say my thoughts on these movies. I've always been kind of weird with how I feel about them. I'm fully bought in and saying, yeah, no, I like these movies a lot. Are they perfect? No. I definitely going through these, I could definitely point out things where I'm going, yeah, okay, I can't defend this. Yeah, okay, these things that are hated for all these years, there's a reason they're hated. Like this is not something I can defend. But I also like I don't think that matters much anymore. I think I'm at the age where yeah, I don't care what people think of these movies. What matters is what I think, and I like them.
Mhm.
Warts and all, if you were. Um,
I just think it's kind of neat.
yeah, I just think it's
Really
kind
neat.
of neat. Yeah, Marge Simpson with the potato. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, well, let's dive specifically into Phantom Menace. I think that's the first one we should probably
Yeah.
start with. And yeah, Phantom Menace is I really do like the scale and scope of Phantom Menace. I think no matter
Mhm.
what your thoughts on the movie are, it's a big movie.
Yeah.
Just in scale and scope. Whether that translates to actually feeling big, I guess, you could make the argument, well, the characters aren't all that great and the CGI is whatever. But I think for
You
what it
could
is, like, I don't know, there's a lot of details I was really appreciating while I was rewatching it this time around.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say Lucas went really far in a few
Yeah.
places. You could say that.
Yeah, I went too far in a few places. Yeah, the famous quote. He did. He honestly did
Yeah.
because this is a really big movie. And honestly, I see that as
Yeah.
both a good thing and a bad thing because again,
Yeah.
the characters are kind of the weakest part. It's the wooden acting, which can be funny at
Yeah.
times. Like I think it is funny whenever like there's that scene when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Jar Jar are in the like little submarine thing and they're being attacked by the big goober
Mhm.
fish, huge O teeth.
Yeah.
And
Oh, big goober fish.
yeah, Jar Jar's flipping the fuck out and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are just like, relax, we'll be fine. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, dude, come on, show a little emotion.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
I guess I would go one at a time with the story and then the acting.
Okay.
I do think I honestly just my impression is like I feel like I've watched by chance I was born after Phantom Menace came out,
Mm-hmm.
but I've watched it at this point twice in theaters, and I feel like as I've like the subsequent times I've like watched it start to finish since I've like I don't know, become an adult. Like, honestly, it like grows on me more and more every time I watch it.
Yeah, me
And it
too.
really is just like like you said, honestly, like interesting is like the best description I can give for it. Like, it's not, the story isn't terribly like, it's a really poor character study, I would say, for the most part. It's more of a, here's a tale of it's really just a tale of events. It's not really
Yeah.
about, a character arc or anything, or like like it's just like, here are the things that led up to the trilogy that you actually
E-
love,
exactly.
that y'all
Yes.
saw and loved. Like, this is just what's happening. Um, and for what yeah, like Anakin's the main character. He, like, technically speaking, he's 9. Like, there's not really like, yeah, there's not like a ton of opportunity for, a crazy amount of growth. But yeah, I guess, yeah, like, yeah. So yeah, like, things happen, they respond. I think it's more of it's almost like it is like the kind of like the savior prophecy,
Sure.
or like, yeah, you literally got the chosen one prophecy. It's just like, you got your messiah type character who's going to, save everything, is prophesized, and this is just like following his journey.
Hmm.
So again, it's not really. I guess it's also like a cautionary tale in the same way. I think that the political side of things, it's been a little. People like to bring up the title crawl, the blockading of trade routes has no relevance in our modern political society at all. Of course,
Right.
nothing going on with that.
Pay no attention. Pay no attention.
Pay no attention. So yeah, it's a little bit of that, but again, it's not yeah, it's not a great character study, even though I do find Qui-Gon's character to be underrated, I would say, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Lego
I
Qui-Gon
think
Jinn.
mhm. It's kind of just, he is it's a analysis kind of like, okay, like, what would it be like to, okay, we're living with the force, like, he's fully, like, we're not learning about the force, like, Qui-Gon's already like a fully, yeah, what would it be like to follow Yoda on his day to day? Like, is he gonna be
Mm.
like, this like, hey, he is like a he's just like a wise old guy who's kind of already figured everything out. And like, same way with Qui-Gon, is like, he trusts in the force, and he makes, like, like, decisions that seem a little questionable, but like, it's an exercise of basically faith in the force,
Yeah.
that I do find like interesting. Like, yeah, he like, and he is doing this stuff that is technically, like, morally gray, but he believes it's for the greater good. And I find that interesting.
I think what happened was, yeah, I feel like the story, because it wasn't a simplistic fantasy story, it wasn't a simplistic
Hmm.
hero's journey, and that's what we kind of expected from Star Wars. We got this huge political allegory with, yeah, the blockade of Naboo, and we're on the run from this droid army we know nothing about, and we're going to the Republic. It's a lot. It's not as cut and dry as like Good and Evil as the original trilogy was, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think now that I think
There are
that
heroes on both sides.
there's heroes on both sides. I think that's why it's taken the prequels kind of a lot longer to get people to like it, because it's kind of one of those stories that you kind of have to keep revisiting. And I think having something like the Clone Wars, the TV series, kind of filling in a lot of the gaps has helped to improve upon these movies, because I've been rewatching the Clone
Hmm.
Wars. I've just started season 7. So I've watched through the
Hmm.
original run, and I got to say, watching the prequels with a lot of Clone Wars in mind did help a lot to fill in a lot of those gaps.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it literally was just, you can't just drop this movie on 1999 audiences and be like, all right, this is Star Wars now. It's like, what? Like,
Yeah.
it must have really,
Yeah.
really shocked a lot of people. Like, what is this? So then now 25 years later, we've watched these movies a lot more, and we can figure these things out. So the story, it's not great, but it's not confusing. It's like, okay, yeah, there's this blockade. The queen doesn't like that. She escapes. They have to stop by Tatooine because their ship is damaged. They pick up Anakin. They go to Coruscant. they realize, oh, the politicians aren't going to do anything, so we go back, fight the droid army, and then we win. It's like, yeah, it's not a terribly confusing story. You can figure it out after a couple of rewatches.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a big movie, so like a lot is happening, a lot of characters in any given scene, a lot of CGI characters, I should say, too, you know?
Yeah. I think the one other tricky part, like inherently with a prequel is like the loss of tension because you already know who's going to, like, who has to be alive, who has to be, or probably should be dead. So yeah, okay, anytime like Obi-Wan's in like peril, is like, okay, Obi-Wan is going to live. Anakin's going to live. Like, he flies into space and, he's allowed to try spinning because, it's a good trick and he's not going to die. And okay, like Qui-Gon makes all these bets and okay, that it's almost like he knows like as much as we do because he's just allowed to like make those bets and like we know that he's gonna win them because okay, Anakin has to get off world somehow, and like they have to get their ship fixed somehow. So yeah, he's probably gonna win the pod race.
Yeah,
but I think that's just like okay, that's like kind of inherent in a like the suspension of. It's literally called the suspension of disbelief. It's literally it's like it's kind of an illusion because like you kind of already know that odds are things are going to end well for our main characters, just like inherently in how a story works. But
right.
now like you don't have any suspension of disbelief. It's not inherently wrong to do that. And yeah, the tricky part is just that, yeah, it didn't meet like the audience's expectations were always going to be insane. Like he did give he at the very least George Lucas gave you a lot of eye candy. And I think the tragic part with this, the following movies, as we get to them later, is that George Lucas listened to honestly too much of the criticism especially when it came to Attack of the Clones, because I think there's a lot of awesome stuff. I'd love to also at some point mention the Darth Jar Jar theory / maybe real.
Yeah. Well, so
I think that.
Do we want to talk a little bit about each character? Like,
yeah, I can go character by character.
Okay, I think we talked about Qui-Gon. I do really like Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I think he is like kind of the quintessential Jedi, this subdued character who believes in the Force and doesn't have any attachments, and he believes in the Chosen One theory. So that's why he's taken Anakin under his wing. Yeah, no, I think Liam Neeson does really well for this role. I mean, as well as he can with George's weird dialogue. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I think that honestly, again, I'm gonna go in like I guess is more of a criticism of. We're talking about the character. I wish he was more relevant in especially Attack of the Clones, and like not that like bringing him back as like a Force ghost or anything, but just like he is like basically Dooku's the only one who like ever mentions him. Like I think that he Qui-Gon should have been more relevant in Anakin's training just because like there is such a stark difference between how Obi-Wan behaves and how Qui-Gon behaves, and the idea that Qui-Gon probably would have been a much better mentor than Obi-Wan was.
Yeah,
maybe he's kind of like
I guess maybe because George wanted Obi-Wan to be the master because that's what.
Yeah, it had to be that way. Yeah,
right.
Again, I'm not saying that he like. And like in a dressing like in canon, or like within the world, it probably would have. Anakin probably could have turned out better because they address like themes in the second one of like Obi-Wan is jealous of Anakin's power and like he has to like one up. Like he has character flaws and he has to like one up Anakin because Anakin is kind of OP, And so yeah, it's like okay, I'm the master, but you're kind of more skilled in some of these ways, and I feel intimidated by this guy. So he has to like one up him. And you feel like like Anakin was kind of thrust upon Obi-Wan. That it wasn't again that wasn't his burden. Like he doesn't really have a crazy relationship with Anakin. They're just kind of like acquaintance in this movie.
Yeah, they don't really interact.
Yeah, and he doesn't feel the same burden. Like he doesn't, he's a lot more of like a council man compared to Qui-Gon. Again, is doing like things that, like he follows Gosh, I feel like a nerd.
It
He
is.
follows the will of the Force rather than the will of the Jedi Council. Da 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 da.
Listen, it is inherently geeky. We crossed that line episodes ago. It is. We talked about the Ewok movies for a second time on this
Yeah.
podcast. We've crossed the line into geekage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But yes, I just think Qui-Gon's a very, and like, yeah, he's not really, he's kind of representing Yoda sometimes, but even Yoda is kind of, like, as Palpatine points out, like the arrogance of the Jedi Council and like blinds them by their arrogance. Qui-Gon, yeah, isn't really eluded by like that kind of sense of like grandeur and like self-importance. To where, yeah, he just trusts in the living force and does things as he tries to follow the moral lines versus like the the gray areas that can lead someone to say, spy on the Supreme Chancellor and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I would have liked to see more Qui-Gon, but I guess if he had been alive, he would not have been part of like the Clone Wars and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't want him to. I don't have any problem with him dying in this movie. I like, it's unfortunate within the story.
Yes.
But and like what theoretically could have been. But yeah, I think that like just like compare like having his teaching methods being a continuing theme, or like the way he lived and whatnot being like kind of like a lost, like I guess it's kind of ever so slightly like lived out through Count Dooku, I guess. Like, and they only very slightly graze it in Attack of the Clones when he's talking about like Count Dooku's like, I wish he was still alive. I could use his help right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't be so sure that he wouldn't follow me. But again, like Count Dooku is just like he's not really he's not even like that close to a morally great character outside that he's willing to out Sidious. They don't believe him. But again, yeah, it's just I think he's a very interesting character, and that's his perspective is missed in the following two movies, in my opinion.
Now, Obi-Wan is interesting because I think he gets a lot more to do in the next two, but he still has to be here because his master is Qui-Gon. But even still, I think Obi-Wan, I would have liked to see more from Obi-Wan, but I guess, like I said, we get more of him in the next two movies. So he's fine here. I think it's very fun to see him. Like, this is our first taste of like a young Obi-Wan Kenobi. What we know of Obi-Wan before Phantom Menace was he's this crotchety old hermit who lives in the desert. Oh, but he's got some skills with the Force and a lightsaber. Well, not really the lightsaber, but definitely the Force. He uses like with the Jedi mind tricks and the moving of stuff. And he's like this wise old man, and so now we get to see him as this young buck, this young Jedi warrior. And I like the skills that Ewan McGregor brings to this role, especially when he's fighting Darth Maul. I think that's a lot of fun. But yeah, throughout like the good chunk of the middle, he's just kind of hanging out on the ship on Naboo, just like, yep, I'm fixing it. Okay. Like, he doesn't get a whole lot to do.
He's so cool. He kills Darth Maul. He's so cool.
Without using the high ground, mind you.
Like, he used the low ground.
He used the low ground, and he still defeated Maul.
Impressive. It's very impressive. Must be very proud. It's like he's a little quippy in this one. Like, he's like, you get the hints of it. He's like, you were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
Yeah, when they first meet Jar Jar, he's like, "You saved my again." He goes, "What's this?" Like, that's funny.
Why do I get the feeling we've picked up another pathetic life form?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Obi's got some jokes. I like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very like he contrasts to which is weird, because Qui-Gon was his master, but he contrasts very hard line with he's very by the books, by the by the code, and like he's conflicting with like Qui-Gon's Qui-Gon believes in. Yeah, again, he maintains that more or less through the following two movies. Maybe not quite as like stuck up,
No.
but yeah, you still get that. Yeah, I guess that's about all I got to say about him.
Yeah,
This one.
he's fine. Okay, with the next three characters, where do we want to start with first? We want to go with Jar Jar, Padme, or Anakin?
Yeah, order of I shoot who I guess Padme is revealed first. Yeah, the character we can never tell whether it's her.
Here, it's Natalie Portman or Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
So that is something I've always thought about, because as a kid, I just thought Padme was never in makeup. It was always like the Queen Amidala, like the double, the bodyguard. I guess she's never really named Keira Knightley's character. I always thought that was Keira Knightley. Like every time you see Queen Amidala, like with the white face,
for sure,
I thought that was just her. And then whenever you see, Natalie Portman, that's Padme. And so she's never dressed as the queen. She's just like, yeah, but I was the queen the whole time. It's like, oh, okay. But no, rewatching it as an adult, like every time I'm starting to point out more and more when it is Natalie Portman and when it is Keira Knightley. I mean, obviously, whenever whenever Padme's out of makeup and she's right next to the girl, it's like, yeah, that's clearly Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I'm able to tell it a lot better, and I'm able to tell, okay, that is Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala. She just deepens her voice and she makes it seem like that's
freaking.
I never realized that. I'm like, wow, okay, good for you, Natalie. Like she's a really good actress even at that age.
I don't want to be hung up in committee.
I move to vote with no confidence.
No confidence. And Chancellor Valorum. And that's I want to get into I guess the theme of the prequels is like, I think George, and it's part of like his like obsession with sound design that makes Star Wars so iconic, but I think he intentionally will choose really like weird delivery of lines and like stuff like that, that like kind of gets the actors and actresses in trouble. But I think like that's an intentional decision by George Lucas, that he wants these really weird or really like over the top accents and weird deliveries. That just like, again, they stick in your head.
You know what? They do, because years later, I'm still quoting these movies because they, are ingrained in my head. Yeah, the way the deliveries are weird, but yeah, maybe there is an intention in that weird delivery.
Yeah, so it's that Skywalker sound, and yeah,
it
feels like if people are just not like be a little more level-headed and not like make threats against actors and actresses' lives over fictional narratives. It's we'll get to Anakin. I feel so bad for the king.
Are you an angel?
It wasn't his fault. Honestly, he doesn't do a bad job. Like, let's stick on Padme.
Yeah, okay, Padme.
Yeah. But yeah, that reveal, I it's another situation where I have no memory of a time where I didn't like. I don't remember my first impressions of realize. I don't think if there was a time, like I don't know that it really like. So it probably just wasn't ingrained enough in the plot to like, oh shoot, Padme wasn't Padme at all when she like reveals herself, and is like. Again, that didn't really stick with me or anything. I always like the like people point out the little side eyes that like Obi-Wan and Anakin give when they realize
Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
or Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and then Anakin too.
Yeah, Anakin's like, what? And then Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon look at each other as if they were like, Qui-Gon won a bet or something. Like, yep, I knew it.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's like Padme is the handmaiden, is always like, like leading is like, don't be so sure that the queen trusts your judgment. Like, she's always like making little side, like side comments like that, which makes sense that she'd be a little agitated that she can't actually out herself.
The queen doesn't have to know.
I don't think it's not like a huge deal. I don't know if it was like George Lucas expected it to be this huge reveal,
right?
But yeah.
Yeah,
It's whatever.
yeah,
It's fine as a plot point. I don't
it's
think it's like
fine.
it's not Luke, I'm your father, or
Right, no, I don't think it
it's
was
not
ever
that kind of
supposed
reveal.
I don't think it was ever
Yeah,
supposed to be. It was just kind of like, oh
yeah.
yeah, there you go. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Um,
But also, I mean, she's a she's her daughter's mother, I guess. She's a very ambitious character, very engaged in the fighting. I mean, even more so in the following movie, much less so in the following movie. But she's pretty active in this one. Her plot is her scheme to take back Naboo is interesting.
yeah, I think, you know, it's a very likable trait of, you know, she goes to the Senate to please help us, and they're just like, oh, we got to debate over this. We need to form a committee to investigate the blah blah blah, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
There's no proof. None at all. There's no proof.
yeah, there's no proof.
Don't bother pulling any out.
And it's just, she's like, all right, fuck this, and then they just, you know,
Yeah.
skedaddle out of there and just go back and fight the droids.
It's kind of crazy that she's canonically 14 in this.
That's true too.
Natalie Portman is 14, or sorry, is 18, like in real life, when the movie
they were
comes
making
out.
this. Well, she was.
Yeah.
Listen, she's still young, and I think she still does a really great job.
Yeah, she's fine in this. I am very critical of her Attack of the Clones performance, which we'll get into. Yeah, I think she's fine in this. It's a bit of a weird role, but yeah, I think she's well.
Yeah,
as the handmaiden, I think she's fine
for being
she's like
for being the mother of Luke and Leia, and that's pretty much her biggest role in the grand scheme of Star Wars. I think she does a good job.
Yeah, I'd say she as the the queen is kind of hard to like compartmentalize her role as the queen, but yeah, as handmaiden, she's good.
Who's the next character?
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. Ooh,
Jar Jar Binks.
Everybody's favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Jar Jar.
He's my main in Fortnite.
Yeah. Jar Jar, like I said with the movies, I've never seen a more fluctuating opinion on the movies. Jar Jar at one point was universally agreed upon to be the most hated character in anything ever.
Yeah.
And nowadays that's not the case. Like I think you still have some people annoyed by Jar Jar's antics, but I think overall everyone's just kind of like, well, he's funny, you know, and that's the most like that's the part people will point out. It's like, yeah, you know what, it's forceful how much of a comedic side character he is, but like, who gives a shit? You know, he's just funny. I can't help it.
Ooh, icky goo.
Piusa.
Yeah, it is like. I'm trying to think if this is like actually, or this is just like a Plinkett riff, but yeah, like it's literally like they put in a cartoon rabbit, but like as they're going like down how like George Lucas like checked every box for like the maximum like audience like relatability to the point where they had Bugs Bunny, the cartoon rabbit, like they have a cartoon rabbit like Bugs Bunny in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he childish? Yeah, it's like it's he doesn't. He honestly gets a giggle out of me.
He does. Yeah.
I think
it's
stupid toilet humor sometimes, but it
is stupid.
I wish I could remember the actors' names.
Ahmed Best.
Ahmed Best. Like Ahmed Best absolutely does a good job. And again, it's the over the top kind of like delivery and like unique voices that again like stick with you, where you just remember like Jar Jar's voice and the things that Jar Jar says, and maybe you find him super annoying. Like I don't blame people for finding him annoying, but yeah, I find it somewhat endearing.
I find it endearing, yeah, because it's just this dumb, stupid character with this dumb, stupid voice in this movie where every other actor takes the dialogue 100% seriously. It's just such a fun clashing of tones that I really enjoy.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Now go away. I spec.
It's demanded by the god it is. And I love the Darth Jar Jar theory so much. I think that is the not enough to get the Fortnite skin of Darth Jar Jar, but I do think that because if you ever watch like the videos that like show how it looks like Jar Jar is like mouthing the words that other people are like other actors are saying.
I feel like I don't know if
Um,
I've actually directly seen that, but I've probably heard of it. I've vaguely heard the Darth Jar Jar theory, but yeah, the Darth, it's basically saying that the original intent was that he was gonna be the secret twist villain of the whole thing.
yeah, he was basically on the same like it would be an expansion of the Yoda reveal in Empire Strikes Back. Basically, like how Yoda was acting like this little like crazy like alien, like just like a goofball alien with like no like sense of importance or
Yeah.
anything. And it's revealed like he's a Jedi master. In the same way Jar Jar was again going to be like set up as this complete buffoon, like the most annoying thing, and then it's like, oh shoot, he's like super powerful, and like he was going to be Plagueis, basically.
That would have honestly ruled. Like that would have been so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like
And that's yeah.
No, go
And
ahead.
that's where like people think that like Lucas changed it because people hated Jar Jar so much in the first one that he like decided to roll Jar Jar back.
Yeah.
I think that's technically it's not official, but yeah, there was like the first official like acknowledgement of it was in a Robot Chicken sketch, which Lucas was involved in. So it seems like he may like leaked, and there's people like a lot of people like on like with inside knowledge that seem to like be the first ones to talk about it. So it seems like there may be like feet that like that was actually the case, and I think that would have been so cool.
Yeah, no, I think it would have been a cool twist. And yeah, I mean, even as a kid watching these movies, you obviously see the significant pullback of Jar Jar, where he's in nearly 90% of scenes in Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones, he's in like one or two. And then in Revenge of the Sith, he gets one line of dialogue, and it's in the background. You don't even see him. You just hear him just go, "Excuse me," and that's it. Yeah, they significantly downgrade his involvement in these movies.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I get it, because I guess the public outcry was so bad where people are like, this character sucks, that I guess George wasn't confident he could win him back with the reveal of him being Darth Plagueis. I don't know. I feel like he should have rolled the dice on that and just been like, well, this is what I'm doing. Because, George is one of those creators, like, yeah, he's bizarre, but he's like Shyamalan. He's like Zack Snyder. Whether you like his stuff or not, you kind of want to see where his batshit insanity goes,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, I as far as like what in the context of this movie, there is you can look it up on YouTube. There is a various videos where it's basically if you watch the the one I remember the most is like it'll be Padme talking or even like Captain Panaka,
Captain Pancake.
Yeah, Captain Pancake. And as they are talking, Jar Jar will be like in the background of the shot, like, and his mouth is like his lips are moving. He's mouthing the same words that those characters are saying in like pivotal moments, like where like Padme is like insisting that she go along with Qui-Gon and Jar Jar into Tatooine to find the parts. So it's almost like he is like motivating the plot forward in a way that they run into Anakin.
See, that would have been so
he's
cool.
almost like orchestrating these happening. And yeah, and that's the kind of thing where they would have they have to specifically, and it's an animated character, they have to specifically animate his mouth moving like that. It'd be easier just to leave it as not moving. Not moving is the thing.
Yeah, so there's intention behind that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
God.
And also the other thing with Jar Jar is just yeah. Yeah, it's so sad to think of what we missed out on.
Yeah. But anyway, no, you're saying?
Yeah. But also just on the technical side of things, like a lot of you talked a lot of like CGI artists and like the way technology advanced just through specifically Jar Jar, and like Jar Jar does look good, and like we're talking about 1999, a character who's like constantly in this movie in like well lit areas. Like he's in freaking Tatooine. Like you got double suns. There's always light,
Mhm.
and like he like this movie is not flawless in the visual department by any means, but
No.
like for 1999, it like broke new ground
It broke
on a
new
technical side.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right though. I don't hate the CGI in this movie, and you know that goes. I feel like my love for the CGI is more so in stuff like the establishing shots, like the castles on Naboo, a
Mhm.
lot of that stuff, like that. A lot of that stuff looks really, really good. And then, yeah, I'll even say, I think does Jar Jar look great? Kind of. I think as an effect, an objective effect, yeah, it looks good for the time. Like the fact that they were able to do this back in the day, like this fully fledged CGI character, like that's impressive. It's obviously it came from 1999, but like, you know, that still, I don't think that takes away from the amount of work that the visual artists went into with this.
Mhm. Oh, there's I put in my a note. Jar Jar also said this isn't in the compilation. Something I noticed is that Jar Jar does say pretty hot to Anakin about Padme. So it's almost like that'd be another instance of where like he's like, "Hey Anakin, I think you have a," he's like, "Wink, wink. You should be into her."
Wink, wink. Wink, wink, Anakin. You know,
Yeah, he does say pretty hot. Like,
that's a line I've heard him say a million times. Yeah, it didn't occur to me until this time where I'm just like, wait a minute, what? What are you
yeah,
saying
why
about
is it?
what are you saying about the 14-year-old Jar Jar?
But
Misa
yeah,
Chris
that's yeah, this
Hansen,
is
why don't you have a seat?
another. Yeah, I have a seat, Jar Jar.
Uh-oh.
I want to before we continue on character, I do want to go back to Padme really quick. I actually
Please.
so one of like Plinkett's big criticisms is like who is the main character of this movie? And okay, is it Anakin? Is it like is it Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon? Anakin is like none of them really have an or anything, again, they're just they start and end pretty much in the same point. Like, Anakin, like his life does change, but it's kind of just like a like he already like had all his growth like leading up to this point. He was already a really good pod racer.
Mhm.
I after this most recent watching, I would say that it's probably Padme has the most of an arc in this
Mhm.
movie. And we're talking about like she is the yeah, she does have the big reveal. She is the one is like kind of making all of the decisions. Okay, like or I guess like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan do like, okay, we need to leave, but she also wants to leave.
Mhm.
And like she does make the decision, okay, we're going back to Naboo. She does like she's the one who's like engaging with all our characters and like and again, you don't even know that we just know her as the handmaiden, which the handmaiden does seem to be like a main character. She is here, but she's like she's spending time. It's so I forgot to mention the that like decoy queen like, hey, Padme, go wash R2-D2.
Yeah.
That's funny. Sending the queen to do cleanup duty. It's kind of always weird, but yeah, she is the one who's like engaging with all our characters, and like she's listening to Jar Jar talk about like she wants to learn more about the Gungans, and she's learning from Jar Jar how the Gungans don't really like the humans, and they think that they're like superior to like the superiority complex the humans have over the Gungans. And that's what like her learning that from Jar Jar is what gives her the idea. Okay, like we're gonna submit to Boss Nass. Like we're your servants. We need your help. Kind of like that's what helps her devise this plan to like go to the Gungans. And also like the Jar Jar says they have an army again.
Wisa
You see,
warriors.
she's learning. She is kind of growing through the course of this movie. It's not like a huge arc, but I'd say that from a just like trying like who has the most arc, I would say that is probably Padme is the main character.
Mhm.
That is my collegiate essay.
Your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
Your 2 Republic credits.
I don't take credits.
Mind tricks don't work on me. Only money. That is probably my one best skill, is that I can do a pretty killer Watto impression.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I just want to have a chance, Q-Beard.
The boy had his mother. I can't do as good as you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, you were saying get into Anakin?
Yeah, we can get into Anakin.
Yeah. So Anakin is
this your Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later. Now he's just a small fry.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that George decided to go the way of, well, we got to start at the very beginning. Let's make Darth Vader a child. Which, hey, it makes for a pretty sick ass teaser poster when you see like Jake Lloyd in front of like the Tatooine hut, and like his shadow is the Darth Vader shadow. Like, it's a pretty awesome teaser.
Yeah, that's a great.
Now,
great poster.
Making it in like actually like putting it into practice, you get Jake Lloyd as little Anakin. It's like, look, I don't think he deserved to get bullied for his role. I really don't.
Absolutely not.
But I also think I don't really like this performance. I think he is the weakest character. Now, of course, he's a child. You know, if he's the weakest performance, I'm not surprised by that. It's a kid. You can't expect him to be on the same level as Liam Neeson or Natalie Portman. So it's like, fine. I think it was a big swing on George's account, and I just don't think it works out. Look, he's not terrible in every scene. I think the scene where he's saying goodbye to his mother, he does a really good job there.
Yeah.
I think there are other points where he's doing well. I think whenever he's not talking, like, he can really get some facial expressions down pretty well. Yeah, when he's trying to be like, you know.
Yeah, he's expressive. Like, his face is expressive.
Yeah. I don't know. His first scene is pretty rough, where he's just like, "Are you an angel?" It's like, I still don't like "Are you an angel?" I mean, look, it's funny. Like, I love saying it as a joke. Like, "Are you an angel?" Yeah. Like, it's fun. But in terms of a story I'm trying to take seriously, no, not really. Like, it's not good.
And this is, I think, first thing is, he's adorable. He's absolutely adorable.
Yeah, he's a cute kid. Yeah,
he's a cute kid. He says some, you know, it's George Lucas's writing, and this is where I really get into the fact that, like, George Lucas's like desire for like weird deliveries, and there are a lot of his lines are ADR. Like, honestly, probably, like, the thing is, you never know if like blockbuster movies, but there's a decent chance, like, it's possible every single one of his lines is ADR'd in, like, it wasn't actually what he delivered on set. And so this we're talking about Lucas, like, wanting to go for, like, you know, it's like yippee, like the now this is like, you're not like, not necessarily picking your he's not necessarily picking like, oh yeah, this is like a really good line delivery. Is like, oh, this one stuck out in my mind, this one is going to like resonate with people. And so we only see one out of like probably like tens to hundreds of like takes of like every single line that he gave.
Sure.
And the actor doesn't have a control over what they ultimately use. So yeah, it's okay. Like, yeah, it's kind of like, as an actor, you're kind of a film actor, you're either as good as your best take, or you're only get to be as good as your worst take, depending on, again, what the editors and what the director wants to use. And yeah, what's the actor's name? Jake Lloyd. Yeah, he definitely, I think, probably got the rough end of the short end of the stick on some of the lines that were used, and also just, you know, malicious Star Wars fans that made it his problem that he was cast by George Lucas to be child Darth Vader.
Qui-Gon, sir, I don't want to be a problem. Well, you became a problem.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
But again, like, yeah, the editors have complete control over what. Right. Again, there's probably better lines than others, but yeah, we just see the one and assume, oh, that was the best he could do. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it is the case. Sometimes it's not.
We did 20 takes, and that was the best one. Yeah. No, and I
Yeah.
agree. From a meta standpoint, he did not deserve to get bullied. I mean, no actor deserves to get bullied. No actor deserves to get death threats. Like, I'm putting my foot down. Death threats are bad. Like, stunning and brave
Star
take
Wars
from
fans
me.
are evil. They're malicious, sad people, and they ruined his life.
Well, they're fat chuds on the computer, so yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not surprised. Yeah, no, it's totally unfair because yeah, again, he was just a child, and you know, I feel like it was just such a complicated thing, and you know, there's a reason we didn't see him again. Well,
Yeah.
because you know, we wanted to have older Anakin, we wanted to have adult Anakin, because Anakin didn't become Darth Vader when he was a child. So it wasn't like a Stewie as Darth Vader situation where he's the tiny Darth Vader.
True.
Oh,
But yeah, you don't really get any yeah, despite the poster, yeah, you don't really get any foreshadowing in this one. It's not until the next one, of course, that
you
start
get
to
more
see,
foreshadowing in the next ones. Yeah.
yeah, it's really just the Jedi Council is like, we're seeing some getting some premonitions here of great danger.
Clouded
Yeah.
this child's future is. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I sense much fear in you.
Yep. Fear leads to anger. Anger.
Hate leads to suffering.
Yeah.
What does that got to do with anything?
I don't know. Ask Ural Poof behind you, the fucking Q-tip Jedi.
I'll use the Force. I can use the Force.
So it's a council now?
Let's put that one to a vote. So it's a council now? Has anyone realized I'm talking?
Oh, the background glup shittos in this are fucking 10 out of 10. Yeah, Ural Poof.
And back when, you know, the action figures would actually sell, and you could sell, like, you know, George Lucas's family.
I would love I would love a Ural Poof action figure. I want a Rats Tyrell. Oh, the pod racing glup shittos are off the charts. You get classics like Ben Quadraneros, and then you get Rats Tyrell, which is one of my favorites. I looked this up. The fucking you know during the pod racing scene where they're in the cave and there's that one, what is it, an Amina alien, like the fucking blue dinosaur looking alien, and he like screams, or he's just like and then just like explodes. Yeah, that character's name is Rats Tyrell, and he has a whole Wikipedia section about how, like, when he died, his son started the Rats Tyrell Foundation. I'm just like,
oh yeah, that guy, yeah.
Fucking Star Wars, man. Who gives a shit about the Rats Tyrell Foundation?
It's like, did you ever see the it was the like 10 amazing facts you didn't know about Darth Vader's suit, the letter media.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
And then they go into like a side thing about shoot, I'm forgetting the cyborg character from Empire Strikes Back.
Lobot.
Lobot.
Yeah,
how, like, you know, he staged a sit-in at the Mos Eisley Cantina because they wouldn't serve.
We don't serve their kind.
Yeah, he serve their kind. And then he is awarded a Cyborg of the Year award by
and his suits, his Darth Vader suit's made of voodoo hide. Yeah. Oh, fucking
always prodding him, and like he couldn't. It was poorly tuned, the audio scepter, so he couldn't focus in on. He's always like hearing these far off things that are completely irrelevant. He's just in constant suffering.
Oh my god,
it's a great video.
Yeah, that's a great video. Yeah, no, I should mention actually, because I meant to, but I didn't. I still haven't. I've never actually watched through the Red Letter Media, like, Mr. Plinkett prequel videos.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think
early
on I didn't watch them because I just didn't want to hear people shit on movies I liked growing up, which is a very dumb reason not to watch a video. Yeah. It's like, and I fully admit that.
I feel that. Like, it's kind of like, it's like,
yeah, but
they're the enemy, you know, like,
yeah, but not even that, like, because I like Red Letter Media, like, I love Best of the Worst, and like, I love Plinkett reviews, like, I like the Plinkett review of the Ghostbusters 2016 is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, like, I like a lot of their videos. I guess the other thing too was, like, at that point when I was willing to watch them, like, I started the first one and I'm like, oh, he's just making points that I've heard made a million times already. So it's like there's really no point for me to watch this anymore, which again is completely unfair. The reason I haven't gotten to them now is because of timing.
Takes that are being echoed from those videos.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. But again, like the reason I haven't gotten to them now is just because of timing. I've just been busy, and I'm like,
they're long videos.
They're very
not quite
long
like
videos.
Mauler long.
No, but like
when's the crossover Mauler? The too many movies crossover.
When I have time to when I have time to make another 10-hour episode, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not quite a too many movies length episode either.
Yeah, too long, too many movies. But yeah, no, so like, but I have seen the Darth Vader video because God, it was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my point is, I will someday watch those prequel videos. It's weird that I haven't, but at the same time, when it comes to Red Letter Media, I'm a much bigger fan of their best of the worst videos. But yeah,
and I think their validity, like just to review those really quick, I think like the validity of those episodes, like or those videos, like goes in like tandem with like how valid, like how he's like. I'm also like I think I give Revenge of the Sith a little more credit than it deserves. I give all these movies maybe slightly more credit than they deserve. Even though I think it's more so like your Revenge of the Sith I give too much credit.
Well, because like
as my current, but my to finish my point.
No, go ahead.
I think the Plinkett review of Revenge of the Sith has the least merit. I think the first two are the most entertaining and also have the most merit to them.
Yeah, I feel like because the prequels have gone through so much difference in public perception over the years, I feel like those videos have kind of gotten a little bit, hated on, where people are just like, oh, we're allowed to like the prequels now, people, you don't have to listen to those videos anymore. It's like, I don't think it's a matter of being allowed to like movies again. Like, you can still watch those videos, and I think they would still make decent points. It's just it really is just up to the individual at that point. Just like, if you like these videos, keep watching them. If you don't, it's not the biggest deal in the world, I don't think.
Yeah, it's really a reaction to people reacting to other people's perceptions. Like,
sure,
they got put on such a high pedestal, and and he was like, oh yeah, they should have J.J. Abrams direct the new Star Wars. He suggests that in the Plinkett videos, and then it actually happened.
Yeah,
and it didn't go super well.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, was such a I get they were culture within the realm of Star Wars. They were kind of culturally significant, I feel like, and so like people like are reacting like they feel like now's the opportunity to like tear them down now that they've been built up so much. That people like they aren't, again, they are not like the best thing in the world, but are also like there's somewhere in everything is somewhere in between the best and like the worst, no pun intended. But yeah, so yeah, they're entertaining. I don't think that every point they make is like I don't think that every point they make is like super valid, but I also don't think it's invalid. Like it's I think the Phantom Menace is not for everyone. It's for I say it's for Star Wars fans. Clearly a lot of Star Wars fans did not like it. It's like for a new breed of it's for a different breed of Star Wars fans.
It's for George.
I think like even like it's for I don't want to like say the I've been watching the Nerd Crew a lot recently. I've been revisiting the Nerd Crew, so I don't want to be like, oh yeah, like movies are just it's fun. It's like it's not like it's not designed to like I don't want to like say that. Like it's like a not like not everything is supposed to be like this like life-changing experience. Like even like it's a spectacle. It's like a spectacle. It's like an event. It's like almost like a roller coaster, you could say. And the hard part is like a lot of people think this movie is boring, which I can't like entirely blame them. I definitely can't blame them for like. Yeah, so one of my roommates, I was watching it when my roommates came down, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like he sat down for 3 minutes and then he came up. He's watching like he wanted to join me watching it. He gave up after 3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's
So
awesome.
it's like I don't know. I honestly like I'm pretty enthralled with the entire movie at this point. But yeah, I don't blame people who think it's boring.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not a life changing experience, but I also think that it does like again. I guess it's like a worldview perspective, whether you like you believe in like greater like if you believe in like fate and destiny and like greater forces.
Mhm.
Um,
And also, did you grow up
yeah,
watching it? Because
yeah.
like we said, we did. Like, yeah, I can't remember the first time I ever watched this movie. It's so ubiquitous with me. It's the same as the originals. Like, I can't
Mhm.
remember the first time I watched those movies. They're so ubiquitous in my life. It's the same thing with the prequels. Though
Yeah.
I do remember the first time I watched Revenge, and we can get into that later.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, Phantom Menace. I've watched this movie for as long as I can remember. I know most of the lines of dialogue by heart, and especially
Hmm.
the way they're saying it, and it's just
Yeah.
ingrained in my memory. So, yeah, I can't hate this movie for that.
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
My thoughts dwell on your mother.
Yeah.
I always want to make that joke every time I hear that line.
Such a like, yeah, it's out of like it's good. I love that it's just done completely straight, but yeah,
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
you knew what he was doing.
Uh,
I always remember it always sticks out like the just like Anakin saying a ship, a cup, a ship like that. That always like
a speeder.
and yeah. I know, again, it's that like the odd delivery again. I think is like Lucas being intentional with like wanting like like specific sound. Like it's about the not that it like sounds natural. He's not again. He's not like looking for it to sound natural. He's looking for it to like resonate and like stick in your mind, and like it works.
It does
But again,
resonate.
like if like as a movie, you're gonna be like it's an immersive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's like yeah, it's like, do you want it to be entertaining or entertaining and immersive can sometimes be at odds, like, and that's not
Mm,
inherently a problem, but I think that like movie critics tend to view that as a problem. I don't think it necessarily needs to be.
no.
Like we're in like I think we're in a this movie feels so disconnected from like anything else that like I think that's what's made me like it more is it does feel like super different from like anything else that I like everything has to like, every movie has to deal with like real world issues and like being like super deep and like Disney's always about their generational trauma recently and it's like
Yeah.
it's got like you have to like think deeply about every movie and like this is not that it's just optimistic and it's just a movie about like the like good things happening to good people more or less like like they deal with trials but then they persevere over it
Mhm.
and like like stuff like bad stuff does happen but yeah it's just an optimistic movie and you just don't get those like that's not what um that's really what has been at odds with what Hollywood has been recently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like
you
it's been a lot more like pessimism and just like you got to overthink everything and like there's like a dark side to everything.
yeah, and the dark side isn't
And like
cool in those movies, you know? You don't get Darth
yeah.
Maul with the double-edged
Yeah, what
lightsaber
the heck?
anymore.
It's like oh the inner evil and not like just like yeah like like generational evil. You gotta like you don't have to grapple with like oh yeah my forefathers massacred people and stuff like it is like it's just it's an escape from all that stuff, which is, a nice change of pace. And then there's just like, okay, like there's objective evil in the world now. It's not about, the past evil type of stuff.
Yeah. I don't care about the racism. Like, give me the Darth Maul. Give me the Darth
Yeah,
Maul
and not to
racism.
say that that's not like
Of
I don't
course.
want to disregard that stuff,
No, of
but it's
course.
also you get inundated. Like our culture is so inundated. That's like let me like not worry about that for a minute. Like let me watch a movie and escape a
No,
bit.
you're 100% valid. Like this is something I've always thought about, especially with modern movies. There is kind
Mhm.
of this sense of this smugness to a lot of modern movies where they're like, "Oh, we're
Mhm.
pointing out these issues of today, so ergo we're
Yeah.
smart." It's like, no,
Yeah.
you're kind of a dumbass. And
Mhm.
yeah, not that the problems they're bringing up are the problem. Like, no, these are real issues. I think you can bring up real issues in movies and explore them in very nuanced and subtle ways. You can do that. Movies have done that forever. Like the best movies do that in ways where you don't even realize they're doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm completely on the same page with you, and yeah, I agree. Not that not that the problems themselves, it's how you go about that. And well, look, suffice to say, modern Hollywood is not very good at that.
And yeah, it got into Star like I said, Force Awakens is an optimistic movie. It's just it's a retreading. Like it doesn't give you a lot new though. And then of course like Last Jedi like does like what I'm talking about, hook, line, and sinker. Where it's like like oh yeah, all of your main characters, they got these like they're the bad guys because they got these personality flaws and like they gotta really lay in that like Poe Dameron's toxic. He's got the toxic masculinity type thing. Is like you gotta feel like you're not allowed to like okay like the good guys aren't allowed to be like have flaws. Like you gotta like point it out to like an nth degree. And of course, like Rise of Skywalker is just bad. point. That's just a bad movie. Like it doesn't have many merits going for it. But I think that I'd say that like despite everyone dying, Rogue One is a relatively optimistic movie. I'd say that one did yeah. Maybe too. You got the cheesy line is like, what have they sent us? Hope. Like it is I'd say it's a more optimistic movie. But yeah, even like Mandalorian and Grogu, which have you seen it yet?
I have not, which is ironic because this is Star Wars summer, the summer of Star Wars.
Yeah, you're not celebrating Star Wars summer.
I made Star Wars summer particularly so then I could watch Mandalorian and Grogu, and then I'm like, I'll get to it later. And then it's like, am I going to get to it this summer? I don't know.
And you want to talk about a boring movie? That's a boring movie, and it's not optimistic either. It's just this. Yeah, the characters are just really muted and downtrodden, and again, everything is like they're just too invested in okay, like there is there has to be conflict, there has to be a downside to like bad things happening in the movie, but like. Can we have some like optimistic characters that are like okay, we can fight like this pessimism with optimism type of thing, and not just like okay, we're like mildly optimistic, but we're more like just downtrodden and like everything sucks.
The Blandalorian and Borgru. Take that.
You got him.
Take that, Disney.
But yeah, again, like. That's just the movie's super muted and color wise too, but yeah, it's just not despite the advertising was optimistic. It had like like the Old West, like the posters were like stylized like Old West, like this is gonna be a fun adventure, and no, it was not a fun adventure. It was it's 3 episodes of the TV show stitched together and nothing happens.
I did hear that. Yeah, that's a thing. Which
now I guess we're reviewing 4 movies now.
Yeah,
we can get back to Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Phantom Menace.
But that's my side about how movies they don't make movies like this anymore.
No, they don't. They certainly don't.
Do. They do, but again, it's a minority. I think that's why I liked Top Gun Maverick so much. Like, it was like that was an optimistic movie.
Yeah.
It also that also very much skirted like it's it doesn't even give a face to the antagonist of that movie, so I guess it kind of works out.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say the villains of that movie was the Phantom Menace. Hey.
Oh, Speaking of villains that don't say anything,
Darth Maul. Yeah, Darth Maul, dude. Darth Maul, dude.
He's so cool. He's got a double-bladed red lightsaber. He's so cool.
He's red and black. He's got horns.
He's so cool.
He can do flips. It's cool character. Oh, he dies. Okay, well,
he doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
he quote unquote dies.
That's true. He comes back in Clone Wars, which he does rule in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
but for the time being, he was for the first 10 years. You got Maul, and look. Maul is cool. I think it is the visual embodiment of cool Sith character. It is weird that he just dies immediately, but I guess they wanted. I don't know, what was George's thinking with that? Do we know?
Very cool.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think he's just he's so cool. I think, yeah, I think he's honestly just designed to like. I know at least sometimes Lucas will like. There's definitely instances where like Lucas will just like one of his like his comic or his novel writers that like are under his employ will come up with this cool. A lot of it is literally just like he just like surrounds himself with talented people. I don't want to like. I'm not calling him a leech by saying this, but
No.
like he does employ. He employs a whole lot of people under Lucasfilms, which is great. A lot of content. And then yeah, okay, like someone will come up with a cool design and is like, I like that. I'm going to put that in the movie now. I don't think that's inherently like wrong.
No.
I don't think that's really an issue. Like he does. It ends up like coming like across it like he's taking credit for it. I don't know. He may have come up with Darth Maul's design. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why he has to be so mysterious. I guess that was the point. You know, you do have Yoda and Mace Windu like talking. It was like always two there are master and apprentice, and yeah, there's a mystery of okay, who's the quote unquote mystery, and then we immediately pan over to Palpatine.
Mhm.
It's like very you're really dragging us along here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not, and again, we know who Palpatine is. Like, you don't have to be too. There's no, you don't have to be too mysterious about it. But
No,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess it's just to keep the Jedi like in the dark, like so they don't really know what they don't have any leads. And of course, then like Dooku like tells all in the next movie, that's a big contrast. So yeah, I don't really know I don't know if that was like intentional. That's like, oh, people didn't like that you didn't say anything. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I don't have a read on it. At last, we will reveal ourselves. At last, we'll have revenge.
One of his very
Well, one of them revealed themselves.
yeah, because he took off his hood and showed his double-bladed lightsaber, which
Yeah.
listen, double-bladed lightsaber. It is cool. It is very, very fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Like,
two ways
he's a
about
cool
it.
design. He has, the lightsaber fight is very cool, and we get Duel of the Fates, and Duel of the Fates is amazing.
One of the best pieces of Star Wars music. Star Wars music in the prequels. Look, I'm a big fan of the originals. The original trilogy music, so fucking good. The prequels really step it up. Like, holy shit. Yeah, Duel of the Fates is so awesome.
I think on the whole, like the way that they're done differently, because like the OT is more like about like character themes, like and it adjusts like character themes, and you got like like the Imperial marches more or less.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's theme, you got Han and Leia's theme, you got Luke's theme, the Force theme. The original the prequels do have themes too. I think it's mostly like, I think the only one that really sticks out to me is like Anakin and Padme's love theme is like probably the most, as far as like the character themes. But you do have like more like these battle theme, like again you have Duel of the Fates and Battle of the Heroes are probably like the most, I would say are probably like the most iconic pieces from the prequels, and they're both, again, they are battle themes. And like there's other like there's other stuff too, but again, it's more every scene it's more the scenes have more unique, every scene has like more of a unique piece. Like they don't recycle, even though they do put Duel of the Fates in the second, and Attack of the Clones because it's cool, I think.
Yeah.
I think Lucas only brought it back. I love it so much, I gotta bring it back, and he shoves it into Battle of the Heroes as well, which I'm not complaining. He's not wrong. I don't just pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of just okay, like we got it's less. John Williams probably designed every one of these pieces for the scenes they are. Like they fit well. So they probably was intentional, but yeah, it's less And yeah, again, these movies are less about the characters and more about the events happening, and so I guess the music is designed differently to fit that. Um, yeah, it's like even like Palpatine's theme, like Luke and Vader, the throne room theme / Palpatine's theme, like that when they are fighting that when Luke and Vader are fighting in that movie, like that's just a um I'm trying to think of the word. Like the music there is just an interpretation of the throne room theme. That's like more intense. Like the Duel of the Fates is not a reinterpretation of any character's theme.
Yeah. The
So it's written differently in that way. And
the
again, it's less of a. These are not character movies in the same way that
right,
the
exactly. They're
original trilogy
a
are.
lot more grand scale. The Palpatine theme actually is what they use for the celebration theme at the very end. Like during the Naboo parade, they just sped it up. Like that's the same song.
I think I've heard it. I completely forgot about that. That
Yeah.
is a that is a great point and good on that's very cool.
Very subtle,
I'm glad you
George.
brought that up. Yeah. Or yeah, whoever.
What-
Yeah,
what-
that probably was George's idea.
Yes,
I feel like
George, John,
that's a story writing idea.
Paul, Ringo, one of them.
One of them had that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. Shoot, there's another. There's another.
There's another.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, boss nass.
Yeah. I'm blanking on what my point was. Should I move on to another character? I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about Darth Maul?
Yeah, no, I think
He's
Darth
so
Maul's
cool.
cool. He's so cool.
He's so... do we want to talk about Palpatine?
He's pretty subtle in this movie. The most you get you get him during the Senate scenes where he's like introducing Padme to Valorum. But then I think a lot of his scenes are him when he's Sidious and he's talking to like the Trade Federation guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I remember about Duel of the Fates. It's they have like a document, like they basically have a whole documentary on like the background of Duel of the Fates, and like I guess it's basically Darth Maul's theme, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, I remembered now. They have like the it was John Williams, like it was either like his first or one of his he hadn't done a ton of like operas, like grand operas like that. But yeah, it's basically like they have like the basically whenever Darth Maul shows up, like he's the Phantom Menace. But yeah, they have like the word, like there's a translation to what the words mean. I can't remember like what the exact, like I think it's like Latin or something. But it is poignant by John Williams, like he. And yeah, like I don't think like it's pretty hard for the audience to pick up on that, but yeah, it is scattered like the little bits and pieces of it throughout it. But yeah, I was like it's Duel of the Fates. You can't go wrong with Duel of the Fates.
No.
That's part of the reason why I literally, yeah, that was part of the reason why I'd always go back to that scene. Just I love Duel of the Fates so much, and then I'd go to like on my Attack of the Clones VHS. I'd go to the Anakin on his speeder. Like I just watched that. Like there's literally nothing happen. It's literally just like him. You know, he talks to some Jawas, and then he rides his speeder. But I'd watch that scene repeatedly just because it was Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's not interrupted because they interrupt it in for the other battle scenes a bit in this movie, of course, because they cut between, like they do the we can go back to Palpatine, but yeah, it was 2 cents.
Well, be careful of your friend Palpatine.
Yeah, careful of him. Yeah, he's pretty subtle, but you know, he is like he's still being manipulative because like, he does he comes Chancellor, Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah, I feel like the bigger villains in this are the Trade Federation guys.
Yeah,
like Newt Gunray. Which I guess
he's still playing both sides at this point. Like,
yes.
Yeah, like this is our like we're seeing him as Palpatine. As I do love like the like right at the beginning, he's like, Viceroy, I never wanted to see this stunted slime in my sight again. It's like really getting out of the from the get go. Just I don't want to see this stunted slime in my sight again.
As you know, blockade is perfectly legal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's just he's very as like Sidious. Yeah, it's just like a lot of malicious lies. It's like wipe them out, all of them.
Yeah, that's pretty killer.
It's like it's like evil for evil's sake.
But that's always been Palpatine.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. But yeah,
he's a bad guy.
You can tell that he's not really trying to like. He's definitely he's a politician. He plays the politician. You can tell he's like saying the right things to Queen Amidala, but he's not really like he goes to like he pushes the last resort of like giving up on Valorum, which I mean,
I must be frank.
Yeah, it's kind of like he got what he wanted without even having to like she calls for a vote of no confidence, and then she still leaves the fight on her own. Which I mean, I guess Palpatine is like what he says is accurate, but yeah, it's definitely like self-serving that he was able to win the election out of that. But yeah, and yeah, he's like, hey, you young Skywalker, we'll watch your career of great interest.
Subtle.
But yeah, it's just not like it's not subtle. And that's Palpatine. Who else is? Any other characters you want to?
Just like you know, Newt Gunray.
Newt Gunray, Shmi,
Watto.
Well, yeah.
How do we feel about Trade Federation guys and Watto being, called racist? I mean,
yeah,
I mean, like you hear the Trade Federation guys and they're just like, "My lord, is that legal?" It's like, okay,
right? You can tell what
yeah, I see what you're doing there, George.
It's the accent. Yeah, I don't know if it's like. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't like. I don't like. I see where people are coming from, but also like they're like. And yeah, I guess it's like. I don't know, like stereotypes of like you're not the character itself. Like you can like I can even like see more like, for example, like the crows in Dumbo, which I honestly like. I don't like. There's some of them like okay, like those are I don't even see them as like a negative like representation or anything. I just think they're awesome. I love I think they're cool characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we're talking about villains here, so that's not as good.
I think,
but also they're not lit. And the crows were the character names were unfortunate. Some of them were, and they were also crows, so it's a little more on the nose. But
Jim Crow.
Yeah, these are just like random.
These
are just random like aliens that happen to speak.
Yeah,
these distinct voices that George Lucas again, like I was saying earlier, like he likes these like
distinct voices. Yeah, I don't think there's any malice that comes from it. Yeah, I think it is just George thought they sounded cool and didn't realize what he was doing. Now it doesn't help that Watto has like this gigantic nose and he's just like, hey, this little boy is a slave. It's like, whoa, dude. Yeah. But like again, I don't think there's any malice that comes from that. Like, you could have told me, I think my dad would tell me like, yeah, he's supposed to be like this, Middle Eastern Jewish guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what?
Yeah, it's like the kids aren't gonna, I don't think they're gonna.
No, I had no idea. Of course I didn't pick up on that. I'm like, what are you talking about? So
right. Yeah, so I don't think he's entirely absolve it of like there's no like potential like downside at all, but I don't think it's like the worst.
I think it was an accident.
Yeah.
But
it's and I guess this is like because Gunray like stays a character throughout the prequels, so and this is like, and it's kind of funny how he just like maintains, at least in the second one, yeah, just maintains a huge vendetta against Padme, is trying to get her assassinated.
She can't do that.
Yeah. I also thought, I noticed this viewing that his mouth movements don't really match his delivery.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was like, I assume they're puppets.
Yes.
Yeah, because yeah, they don't look like they're CGI. But yeah, it's like I thought that was curious. So yeah, his mouth movements really don't match, and like I guess that wasn't an issue because I never noticed that before. Like I've watched this movie how many times, I've never noticed that. Yeah, I don't think I had. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about Gunray. I don't. He's not like a huge character.
Yeah, we're running out of characters, I think.
Yeah, I should get back in. I guess we can go into the plot. I think it's interesting that Qui-Gon is the first character that we see, like as far as like Jedi go. He's the first one we actually like to see like die like a normal person, because you have Yoda and Obi-Wan, they both
disappear with the
vanish.
Force.
They disappear. Like Qui-Gon just gets like stabbed, and so like that's something interesting that, yeah, you probably just assume that like every Jedi dies like that, and like so that's kind of an interesting switch up that like and I guess like, yeah, I guess Darth Vader was like kind of surprised when Obi-Wan does that. So like it's not a fully fleshed out feature of A New Hope until you watch this that you realize, oh, that wasn't normal.
Yeah. Well, that's why like at the end of
yeah.
Revenge of the Sith, there's like that little moment
Yeah,
where
they sort of,
Yoda says that Qui-Gon.
Old friend is
Yeah.
the path to immortality.
Yeah, and then that's explored even further in Clone Wars. How like, yeah, Qui-Gon is the first
Yeah.
Jedi to kind of survive in the afterlife through the Force.
I like that plotline too.
Yeah, it is cool.
And yeah, as far as like Darth Maul like living, like why did like they're really invested in like figuring out like what's going at them. Yeah, discover the mystery of the Sith. They never bothered like recover Darth Maul's body or anything.
And then he just ends up on a trash planet with robot spider legs.
Like, you figure you can probably like try to figure out like where he's from or something, maybe like investigate in the 10 years between that and Attack of the Clones, get a hint.
Get a hint. Get a clue.
But yeah, he's not even freaking dead.
Yeah.
So that's just convenient.
How convenient, Yoda.
Yeah, I guess that's not inherent. Like, that's a little bit of a problem if we assume he's dead, and it's like, okay, like that's poor. Like that's poor follow up if you actually like care about the Sith. But that is it made even worse by the fact that he didn't die. He didn't bother to recover the body. Idiots. Do you want to get into the plot a bit?
Okay.
I don't know if I have any.
No,
we kind of been like through it.
Yeah.
We got the introduction of C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah, of course. Anakin built C-3PO the whole time. It's like,
yeah,
okay, sure.
Yeah, I just grew up knowing that, so yeah, it doesn't like, that is awfully convenient, but
yeah, I think it's a weird choice.
It's whatever.
Yeah, but like, does
it
ruin things?
It's the kind of like small world thing where like, okay, like, yeah, and yeah, that's the whole they do the robot chicken bit with and as a child I built C-3PO. That's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but
if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I do like I like the 3PO puppet, how it's he's just kind of walking around
yeah,
like that is cool.
My parts are showing.
Oh, goodness me.
I like that line. I like that first interaction of R2D2 and C3PO. I feel like it's appropriate.
It's very in character for them, yes.
Yeah. And then R2 is already like, yeah, they have to do the whole like ceremony of congratulations for R2. That is one of the more unnecessary scenes in this movie.
Yeah, thanks for doing your job, R2, I guess.
Yeah, it was like,
because all the other astromech
they're so
droids
excited.
get blown up.
Obviously, like it is kind of consequential if they live or die based on what R2D2 does, but I don't know if they need to be like. Yeah, they give a lot of more credit to droids than they need to, and I don't. Maybe that's just a Padme thing.
I guess they wanted to like they wanted to have a scene where
she's very
point
caring,
out R2,
and so she cares even.
Oh
more
yeah,
droids.
she cares a lot.
She cares a lot. But yeah, they don't. I guess they don't. You know, like Anakin goes up in the. Yeah, this is our first instance of a Skywalker. With R2D2 as the astromech for him, which is happens. Yeah, is going to happen throughout the rest of the OT at least, or yeah, the original saga 6 films.
Mm-hmm.
So his first instance of that. Yeah, I guess that's the introduction to C3PO and R2. I mean, C3PO gets left behind. We'll see him again in the next film.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. I did. Yeah.
There's the pod racing. We'll talk about pod racing.
The pod racing. So I also saw this movie in theaters when it re-released for its 25th anniversary, and the pod racing scene in theaters was sick. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean even on my smaller TV
it's
now,
very cool.
It is very cool. I think it is very funny watching all the Glup shittos die and Ben Quadraneros can't get his shit started.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun, and I think
it's a very impressive world. Like this entire movie has a lot of impressive world building. Like especially the pod racing. Like this whole thing that was like built from the ground up. At least I believe. I did see there's a video on my not watched that. I guess there's claims that there's another movie that is very similar, like shot for shot, that predates Phantom Menace. Obviously, it's not pod racing.
Ben-Hur,
but I don't know. I don't think it was Ben-Hur. But yeah, like the pods themselves seem like very creative. Like it's not like any other ship we've seen in Star Wars to date. It makes a lot of sense that we'd see some sort of racing going on, like futuristic space racing, and it is like one of the big criticisms in the Plinkett reviews is that it's not like the prequels are so clean when the OT was kind of darker and grungier, like it doesn't have like the same. I don't know. I think that's I think this is like a perfect example. They are recycling Tatooine, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
That Anakin would be there. His family's from there.
Desert planet.
Yeah. So yeah, like pod racing is very like grungy and like kind of seedy. Like you don't exactly. The crowd is full of like dirty. I just be careful about like describing them, but yeah, it's just like it feels like you got your like, okay, if you had like a Tatooine equivalent of like NASCAR fans, like it is like it's a mix of like like blood sport and
that's a good point. That's that's great.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, it's like a space NASCAR.
Yeah. And you even got freaking Tusken Raiders like shooting the racers. They don't care. And you got Jabba the Hutt, the crime lord, is like a celebrity appearance.
Yeah,
it's like having a mob boss at your race, and everyone just loves it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, John Gotti at a fucking NASCAR race. That's the equivalent. Yeah, that's great. I like that.
And he just flicks for no reason. He just flicks a frog off the ledge.
Yeah, the little like bird frog.
Just, like random stuff.
Yeah.
There's just such a random assortment of stuff that like, again, like if you're just like thinking from like the straight plot, like that's just like credit to like George Lucas's like weird mind that like he'll just like have thoughts that have like these weird side things that have no purpose whatsoever. It's like, oh yeah, I want Jabba the Hutt to like flick this frog and he's gonna scream as he falls from the ledge.
Yeah.
And yeah, like what does it even mean?
Who cares? It's funny.
Yeah, so Saboba. He always
Saboba.
wins. And like, and, you think of it like from the perspective of like I think it's really easy to like get in the head of like taking everything said in the movie at like face value. Like this is like, okay, Saboba like Watto says Saboba's wins, so he must like win every time. He must be like undefeated, and like, but then you like take a step back, and I guess that's what I took as a kid to realize that it's like it makes it that much more clear. Like, oh yeah, like this is ridiculous that Anakin would not only like finish his first race, but he'd win it against like Saboba, who always wins. But like that's kind of like LeBron James always wins, but he doesn't always win, like kind of thing. Or like, like this is like the crowd favorite. Like, it makes sense that like, okay, Saboba was voting for the crowd favorite. It's not like it shouldn't be a foregone conclusion that he actually literally wins every single time. That'd be kind of ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not that crazy that Saboba would lose. Like it's an upset, but it's not. Yeah, like you don't win every single race every time. It's like Dale Earnhardt didn't win every single race every time. But also, the sound effects are in there's a masterclass of Skywalker sound for the pod racing too. I mean, I always love the Saboba's the sound of Saboba's like yeah.
Yeah.
All the engine sounds, the beams coming across.
Every time an alien screams before they die. Like I said, Rat's Terrell when he's just like, or like there's this one where like Sebulba I think throws like something at a different pod racing and it starts. Yeah, and there's like this, and then he just like,
it was like laugh. Yeah, it just killed someone. It was like
yeah,
laughs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Podo.
But yeah, it's like maybe you don't need like do like the stakes. I don't know why exactly. I don't know if there's a particular reason because we see like Saboba like yank something down on Anakin's ship and like it seems to be an issue later. It's not. I don't know if like Anakin just stalled. Like it's not clear if that's why Anakin stalled.
Yeah, that was never really made clear to me.
I don't know if it's just like some, like he's a little rusty. He hasn't, obviously, he hasn't got. This is the first time he's actually flying it. I guess maybe outside of like getting it there, because he just finished building it. Like it literally just started working yesterday. So I guess that's probably it. And I guess it's just kind of the situation where we don't have enough background of pod racing to understand that. That's probably just like, like first time like. I don't want to say jitters. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but yeah, it's like okay, like
it's working.
Novice.
It's working.
A novice mistake. That's what I was looking for.
Sure, yeah.
So it's probably that, and like it doesn't. It's an issue later when it causes like his thing to catch on fire because of the one piece falling off, whatever that was supposed to do. Like it looks like a capacitor, I guess.
The flux capacitor.
It's time for another time travel plot, and I'm going to build another one. So build a pod racer. This needs to go 880 parsecs.
Yeah.
And go back in time. To finally do the Rise of Skywalker time travel plot.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Naboo underworld?
I think, it actually is really cool. Like, I feel like because George has access to so much CGI now, he's able to make these worlds a little bit more dynamic. Because, in the original trilogy, you had the snow planet, the desert planet, the California redwood forest planet. Whereas here, you can have Naboo, which is relatively Earth-like, But oh, by the way, we have a race of platypus fucking creatures called Gungans, and they live underwater, and they talk real funny. And yeah, you can actually go underwater to their underwater world, and it's like this big kingdom, and it's yeah, like I like that. I like that you can have that in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's visually distinct. And yeah, I guess you can also like the whole like idea of Gungans is it's like Boss Nass is like an entirely different species, so I don't know exactly what's going on there.
Oh, really? I thought he was a Gungan. He's just, a fat Gungan.
Maybe he is a fat Gungan. Let me take a look at this.
I think his like, how Jar Jar has like the little like fucking flappers for ears. I think Boss Nass like ties his.
Maybe it's just tucked in the back.
Yeah, that's what I always assumed.
He's a leader. He's I guess he is a Gungan male. I not that I was questioning his gender or anything.
Gender identity.
I was reading off the Wikipedia right now. I don't, because there's honestly, this is completely irrelevant, but there is he doesn't look like any other. There's no other fat Gungans. There is a Lego Star Wars like short, like little movie they made, where there's a multiple like Gungans built like Boss Nass, and again they seem like their own thing, and like they also he does like the spit.
Be gone with him.
Yeah, he. I guess that's another thing where it's not like I got the wrong impression that he was like a different species, because he does just look very different. Like he looks aquatic, but he doesn't look like the other Gungans.
Who saw this?
Skipped over him. But yeah, the
That's Hidden City. When I grew up.
And yeah, apparently you can get banished for being clumsy there.
Which
that's another thing. Yeah, the other like Darth Jar Jar thing is like that's such a it seems like a weak excuse. So like obviously like they're like the Gungans don't like him for some reason, and then they just completely like we see they're susceptible to Jedi mind tricks because Qui-Gon just does that. And again, that is just more of like he's very comfortable using Jedi mind tricks to like get what he wants. But yeah, it's like Boss Nass is susceptible to Jedi mind tricks. We see as Jar Jar is like promoted to general, we do see like he's waving his hand at Boss Nass. It seems like just like oh yeah that like it's nothing, isn't like you flatter me, but it could be a Jedi mind trick there.
This is so awesome. I love all these like little details for Darth Jar Jar, and they're just completely wasted because George was just like, nah, never mind.
There's also while they're in the bongo, it is like Qui-Gon's like the Force will guide us, and Jar Jar is like,
Massey big the Force.
like he's mocking the Force.
Yeah.
Like what does Jar Jar know about the Force?
Yeah.
Like what? So yeah, again, that seems like that's. I mean, that'd be the kind of thing that Palpatine would do, or Han Solo, but he's not Han Solo. He's Jar Jar.
Yeah, he's not. Did you ever see that video? I don't know if it's still up. I mean, it has to be. I don't think it's like lost media or anything. But there is this video I remember finding where it's the death of Jar Jar, because obviously we never actually see Jar Jar die in these movies. But it's I guess it's a scene of like Jar Jar's floating through space, and he gets like he ends up on the Millennium Falcon somehow, and Han Solo just like beats the shit out of him, and it's just like it's that scene from Air Force One where he's just like, get off my plane, and he just throws Jar Jar out into space, and then he like blows him up with like lasers. I would imagine you could find that video in like the comment section, just like, thank God, I hate this motherfucker. It's just like this is canon, by the way, and it's just like shit that nobody says anymore because people like Jar Jar now.
Yeah, there's a Robot Chicken sketch where it's kind of similar. It's like he shows back up and with Darth Vader. It's like,
Annie?
It's like, Jar Jar, my main man, quick before the Separatists attack, into the escape pod.
If this is the escape, then where's the pod?
And then he's a Force
Where's
ghost.
the pod?
It is still out in the space, is frozen. It's like,
Annie, you're not gonna believe this. Me's all sparkly glowy now. Now we have all the time to spend together. I love you, Annie. Yeah.
That is funny.
he's a Force ghost. He comes back as a Force ghost and he torments Darth Vader.
Oh God.
That's one of my favorite robot chicken
Yeah.
sketches. Because again, it's like they do the thing that everyone wants them to do, but also they're like making fun of it too. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
You can't escape them. It doesn't work like that. There's the Naboo overworld, which is cool.
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
looks
yeah,
cool.
everything.
I like the
yeah, I like
palace and stuff like that.
Yeah, like everything is like well designed. Like it's,
Mhm.
it's the point of like everything is interesting. Like it is like it is like, and they're gonna go back in the next movie, and it's like it's kind of like Venetian. It's like it's very like all these grand locations, more or less. And,
Grand, yeah.
it's about it's the world building again. That's like very impressive.
Like I said, the scale and scope of
Um,
this movie is really impressive.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the first time we see Coruscant.
Coruscant.
Canonically, of course, it shows up in Return of the Jedi now, as well as the Gungans. But yeah, this is the first like time we see Coruscant. And Coruscant is very, I guess, it's all one big city, as they say. Also, yes, it's interesting looking. You see like the little senator pods, like the you see the council, like the Senate for the first time, which I love that they made you can in Fortnite you can drop down in the Senate pods. Like you drop from the battle bus and then you have your glider. You can get the Senate pod as a glider. I love that.
Of course.
They go to the Senate. I'd be very helpful if I just read the lyrics to The Saga Begins and I can see all the plot points. You know the background of that because back in the day, I guess the whole script got leaked early.
Mm-hmm. And
which
like,
is kind of interesting.
Weird Al just kind of guessed a lot of this, and he got a lot of it right.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't the entire script, but a lot of the plot got leaked, and then he was just able to like make guesses because the sound came out, I think, before the movie. But yeah, and not like again, you're not hiding that much just because again, like we already know where these characters are going to end up, so
Right.
It's not like the end of the world. But
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, it was like the amount of like paranoia that would have been around this movie coming out to the point where they leaked the script makes a lot of sense. It's all what Disney Star Wars could only dream of.
Yeah,
That'd be a big deal.
Too true. Too true.
What do you think about Puppet Yoda versus CGI Yoda?
So
that was one of the
I was
this one.
I've thought about that. I mean, I guess it makes sense why George would go back and change that because he used CGI Yoda for Clones and Sith.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Puppet Yoda best because I mean Puppet Yoda rules. So
yeah,
no, I don't know. I just like how Puppet Yoda looks in the Phantom Menace better than I like how CGI Yoda. Because CGI Yoda just looks like what he would look like in Clones and Sith.
Yeah, I like Puppet Yoda. As my big thing is that he's not quite as expressive as I don't know why specifically. He's not quite as expressive as he is in the original trilogy.
No,
at least my headcanon, at least I didn't go back to look, but yeah, it's like he kind of like because Frank Oz is like delivering like he has like range and like delivery and like intensity, but like again he like the puppet we're looking at kind of just like delivers everything the same, which is a little I don't know if it's and maybe it's just that the CGI is able to do it better in this case, but yeah, again, I don't necessarily like love this. Like, again, I like seeing the physical thing, and like that it's you look at Yoda, it's CGI, but at the same time, like it is like more expressive. So I'm kind of in between.
right.
Then you have the idea of the four-way battle at the end, which Lucas was basically the three-way. They show in like the background or like the behind the scenes is like in Return of the Jedi we had the split three-way climax, so this time we're doing four-way split. You got the Jedi battle, the battle on Naboo, the battle in the sky, and the
Padme,
Padme and the crew like storming the castle.
which I like. I actually really like the four-way because yeah, it's a lot happening. Of course, it's a lot to keep up with, but I think he balances it out.
He goes really far in a few places.
Yeah,
I think like it's not like hard to follow. Like they
No.
follow a fairly comparable. Like all of them go with like a pretty similar arc of like rising conflict and then resolving conflict. And I like how like it is basically this like I am under the impression at least like this is like the original like massive army is wiped out by because the mothership got destroyed, like kind of like Ex Machina type of thing.
Yeah, I think this was when that started
Like a
happening.
cop out.
Yeah, like it happens in Avengers and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense here because it's like, well, they're robots, so sure, why not?
Yeah.
Whereas in Avengers, it's like the Chitauri just kind of powered down. Oh, okay. I guess
that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
But then there's also in the later movie, I guess they fixed the rather massive oversight of that. Because like really, like only like I guess in reality, like only like like they only need to be successful in like 3 of the 4 or so fronts for it actually to win the battle, but they win all 4. So like I've Gunray's captured and like Maul's defeated. Like like that was like Padme's argument is like like the droid army be lost and confused without leadership. So like maybe that resolved it anyway, but I guess it's just for like convenience sake. We take out the trade ship and all the droids don't receive orders anymore. But then in later the next 2 movies, like there's no semblance of that anywhere. Like they seem to be like individually controlled. So like that also guys kind of like you set this expectation and then they don't like that's no longer the case in the following movies. I guess they don't have antennas on them anymore. I guess it's a design difference.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I don't remember them having like antennas that much.
Yeah, I guess it's because they're not controlled by a control ship. I guess now. However, it's different. I guess.
Mhm.
I think that's. I also get. I do think that I think the Gungan that battle. I think it has more merit than the. I think that. I think it has more merit than the battling the Ewoks, in my opinion. I think it's better than the Ewok battle. I think that and they have like I think their weaponry is pretty creative.
Ouch
they
time.
got, like, these, they got like their shields and the
blue
Big
balls.
boomer.
Yeah. Oh, big boomers.
Big boomer.
Honestly, that's probably like
What? Misa no have a
Jar
boomer.
Jar's hijinks in that are honestly probably my favorite Jar Jar hijinks.
Yeah, where he's got the droid attached to his foot, and he's just like throwing his foot everywhere, and he's getting shots
just
in.
like getting like dragged around on the. I used to remember what the tanks were called. I used to remember. I used to care. I do like the tank designs a lot.
Oh, they are cool. Yeah,
and I mean, the transport ships are like that. That was a really cool Lego set. The idea is, I could have all these battle droids carried along in this big tank. It'd be so cool,
so awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, and they got like so those are. Yeah, I enjoy that more than I enjoy the Ewok battle.
Okay,
honestly.
I think that's fair,
and I think it is a little more believable.
And
like they lose too. They lose. Like the Gungans lose. If not for Anakin blowing up the control ship, they would lose.
I give up.
And
I give up.
And I honestly like I don't know how, like, I guess it's just convenience that, you know, like, okay, like, why do these droid ships always let themselves get boarded? Like, that is the most fun part of, like, I always love doing that in Battlefront. You could do it where you could battle you could board the other team's ship and just like blow up the pilots or kill the pilots before they board the ships and like blow the ships up early. But yeah, it's in this, it's in Revenge of the Sith, where, you know, our heroes are just able to, like, you know, get inside the hangar and like at least in like Revenge of the Sith, like, okay, they have to blow up the shield first on the hangar, and then they sneak in just before the door closes. And this one, Anakin's just able to fly in, and like, why did no one try that? And why does it work? The way that Anakin is able to blow up the control ship is awfully convenient, because yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why they just let him fly in like that.
I guess that's one of those things where it's like, oh, we learned that because that's why in the Death Star you have, you know, the way to blow it up is kind of hidden in a small hole, whereas here it's like, they'll
Yeah.
never fly in through here, and then he easily flies in, blows it up
Mhm.
accidentally, and then escapes. It's like, oh well, oops.
Yeah, it's like, at least in Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, they have to destroy a shield before they can like do that, and Anakin's just able to fly in, and then it's like one thing, just like it all takes is one torpedo to this one thing, and it blows up the entire fucking ship.
It's a
That
chain
seems like a bit of a
reaction.
design flaw.
Yeah,
Gonna
you
be
know.
honest. We're losing power. That I don't know what that thing's name is, but yeah, that's another very unique voice in this movie, is the
Well, it's like,
Neimoidian with the face mask.
yeah, it's a different voice because at the beginning it's like it's a little more electronic when they're just like they've gone up the ventilation shaft, and then like later on
Yeah.
it's like just like this raspy, yes sir, we're losing power.
Yeah, that's what also reminded me, like, the captain of the ship at the beginning of the movie has like also has like this really unique voice. I'm trying to remember what what they say. Like, that's another. It's not sticking out enough in my head that I can says,
Mhm.
or is like the guy is like, shields up. Yeah, I can't remember.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess that's the. You have any other thoughts on the final battle?
No, not really. I just think it's cool.
It's pretty cool. Some people complain that the battle, or like the lightsaber fight, is like too clean.
Too clean.
As it looks too choreographed, I guess, is the complaint.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess, but like,
I
who cares? It
yeah,
cool. It looks
I don't
cool.
know.
It looks cool. I don't know.
It's better than yeah, it's definitely better than the big lightsaber fight in Last Jedi.
Oh, incredibly so. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
fine if it's gonna be
that one is horribly choreographed.
if it's gonna be choreographed and it's gonna look choreographed, I'd rather it look cool than look incredibly lame. Yeah, no, I agree.
Some people are big fans of the lightsaber fight.
Well,
Last
some
Jedi.
people
I
are
honestly haven't watched
wrong.
it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We'll get to that movie when we get to that movie.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Well, now's your
Actually, at this
chance.
point, yeah. I'll have to come back to once we get to I'll get to Attack of the Clones.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
It's very soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so, yeah, the Duel of the Fates, that lightsaber fight is, and yeah, yeah, I guess I don't really have it, you know, like, it's they got the ray the shield things that separate Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, which are there for some reason.
Yeah, but it's
whatever.
cool.
Yeah, like, I think like, the part where like Qui-Gon is just like, yeah, he's being patient. It doesn't really work out because he still gets murked right after that. But
Yeah.
it's interesting, like, the different perspectives, because Obi-Wan is like standing at the ready, Darth Maul is like standing at the ready, like they were both chomping at the bit. But then, you know, Obi-Wan can't do. Oh yeah, this is the we didn't mention the force speed that they use to like get away that never comes back.
Monster destroyers, yeah, and they're just like, zoop.
Yeah, which is that's something they never do again. Which it could be like it exerts a lot of energy. I think that makes sense, but yeah, it never comes back again in any of the movies. But yeah, it would have been. As some people was like, as a Plinkett point is that, yeah, sure, would have been nice if Obi-Wan could run faster through these beams so he doesn't get caught on the last one and separated. But that'd probably be it'd probably be the kind of thing where you leave yourself very susceptible to, it may leave you very weak fighting against Darth Maul immediately.
Sure.
Would probably be unideal. And there's also a big pit at the end, so that might be a little risky. But Obi-Wan, he first cuts Darth Maul's lightsaber in half, and then he gets pushed down a pit. And then he sees Qui-Gon's lightsaber, and he leaps up and he cuts him in half.
I always thought,
and we never saw him again.
I always thought Qui-Gon's lightsaber looked kind of like a toy version of the lightsaber. I don't know.
It's definitely like the most boring design. It was always my least favorite design in the toy aisle. I liked every other lightsaber design except for Qui-Gon's, which is boring.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's because you could actually see the red button there. Like it made it seem more like the toy.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, it was always kind of strange to me, but I mean,
it's definitely the most practical, like logistically speaking, it's probably the most grippable.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these fancy designs aren't super grippable. But it's merchandising opportunities. I kind of go on the back and forth. Like, how much of this is actually for the sake of world building, and how much I get maybe it's just a convenience that it's also great merchandising.
Yeah.
I of course that's one of the big things with George Lucas is that he kept the rights to the merchandising when he in exchange for lower pay as a director when he first did Star Wars, and that went super well. And of course I've been talking about all these the Lego sets and stuff that I wanted to have as a kid. Of course I never actually got him, so it didn't quite work out in that way, I guess. But yeah, all the different I had so many lightsabers, but I needed more.
I needed to add it to my collection.
Yeah. I never got Darth Maul's lightsaber. Tragically, I wanted
that.
It so much.
They did sell those.
I wanted a double-sided lightsaber. They did.
Okay, yeah. I mean, of course they would have had to. I'm just saying, I never owned a Darth Maul.
It was more expensive, of course.
100%. I'm sure. Yeah, no. I think I had I think I definitely had Luke's blue one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I had a green one. I might have had a green one. I don't remember.
I had a bunch, but I never got Darth Maul. I had the Count Dooku's was definitely the most. I had Count Dooku's. I had Mace Windu's. Those were definitely the coolest two ones.
Yeah.
I did have. I had a lot. I honestly should. I should have been more grateful than I was, but of course, I was always annoyed that I didn't have Darth Maul's. I always wanted more.
Your lust for power.
But yeah, and then there's of course you get into the Rise of Skywalker and the whole Force healing thing, and Obi-Wan doesn't. Qui-Gon does say it's too late for him, I guess.
I guess.
But, it's pretty. I don't know. It seems like it's pretty late in the game in Rise of Skywalker too. I don't think we need to
invent.
I don't think anyone was going to argue with me that it's that Rise of Skywalker has bad rating.
Yeah,
there's that, and there's the whole half the impetus of Revenge of the Sith is Anakin freaking out about not being able to save the Padme, not being able to save Padme. And then Rey's just running around, force healing people and from on the verge of death. Where was that at any point? And yeah, where was that at any point in the prequels? That's why Anakin. The major reason why Anakin fell was because it was believed that the Jedi couldn't force heal people.
Yeah. Well, they just figured it out, I guess, eventually. How convenient.
It just works.
It just works.
Yeah, as the movie's interesting. We've been talking about it for about 2 hours now.
Yeah, so I'm
Um,
gonna be real. We've gone on longer than I expected, and you know what? That's totally fine. Unfortunately, I might have to cut this short net right now, though. So,
okay.
um,
Yeah, I just say I on my end, Phantom Menace was I think this was my longest
yeah,
notes section ever
yeah.
for any movie. I had a lot to. It's
That's
an interesting movie.
it's very interesting. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I might make this its own episode then. So if anything, like, why don't you shout out your stuff, dude?
To be continued.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yeah, as always, check me or follow me on Letterboxd. Links will be in the description. Letterboxd, Twitter. I'm not super active on there anymore. I might upload something to YouTube. I don't know. Oh, we'll see. Shrek 2 Retold is still around the corner. It's coming close. I've heard it's coming close.
Yeah, that's why your profile picture is
coming
Shrek.
soon.
No.
Oh yeah. I got that was unrelated. Yeah, I set out my profile picture for this episode. I got yeah, I lost a bet fantasy football. I came in by it was a great tragedy. I came in last place in fantasy football, and like this
Oh.
punishment, I had to go to it was supposed to be Outback. Outback made us wait, so we ended up going to Texas Roadhouse instead. I had to eat a bloomin' onion dressed as Shrek. Honestly, it didn't go too bad. People were I had fans. I that costume is I basically reuse a costume I'd used previously for Shrek 2 Retold, so
Right.
it kind of worked out.
There you go.
So yeah, it was decently convincing. I think I honestly like our waitress honestly thought that like I was actually like a like an actual like actor, or like I was
She
like,
thought
actually performing.
she actually thought you were Shrek. Shrek himself.
Yeah, she actually thought I was Shrek. It was amazing.
Shrek goes to the real world, dude.
Yeah. But don't forget, we also got before we wrap up, we do need to talk about what we watched this on.
Well, we can talk about that next time. So prequels part 2, baby. Prequels part 2.
Should we compare, or at least compare our widescreen video collection, VHS exclusive?
Oh yeah,
film reel.
You know what? At the very least, yes, we'll do that. Let me break that open, and then I'll go into more details on this VHS like next episode. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like we said, so they've released Phantom Menace on VHS as like a widescreen video collector's edition, and it's really cool. Like, it is really really cool. And yeah, the version, and even though I got this at a Bull Moose secondhand, it came with the booklet that it originally came with, and it came with the film strip that it has. Like, I guess they put like a film strip from the movie, like a couple frames from the movie. They just put it on like this like little piece of cardboard, and so I have this film strip of Phantom Menace. I'm trying to figure out what mine is. Hold on, let me put it up against like a lamp or something. Okay. Yeah. So mine is just a shot of Newt Gunray talking to Palpatine over like the video thing. Like while they're in the I think it's during the scene where they're like you know how like whenever they talk to Palpatine sometimes, and like they're walking through the palace, and Palpatine's like little video thing is on like that little spider video projector thing. Like, I think it was one of those shots, and it's Newt Gunray just like looking at Palpatine in the Naboo palace, and that's the strip I have. That's really not that interesting, but that's the film strip I have.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I got mine at like it was either a thrift store or Half Price Books. I think Half Price Books, but yeah, this was not the one I watched as a child. I found it more recently. But yeah, my film strip is I believe it's Qui-Gon and Shmi standing outside. I think it's when they're like watching Anakin say it's working. It's working.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's the
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
and you're looking at the cardboard. I mean, it's a cool design because like the center is the surrounding the strip is the big Roman numeral 1.
Yeah. Mine's the same
Like,
thing.
and it's got Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul. So it's neat.
Yeah.
I just think it's neat.
I just think it's real neat. But yeah,
it's like everyone gets a different one.
Yeah, just like how Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith will get their own episode, and Phantom Menace gets its own episode, just because we had so much to talk about, and I gotta go. So, hey,
all right,
folks,
see y'all later.
To be continued.
To be continued. The saga continues.